Here is a family tree of the school system for the Black folks in DC. Started off with the preparatory high school for colored youth, and that kind of morphed into the colored high school. And then that divide between M Street School and the manual training school number two, starting with the manual training school number two, that turned into Armstrong.
Hmm.
Going back to M Street School, that turned into Dunbar. And I kind of got lost here with Cardoza Business School because Cardoza
Yes,
Business is his own school.
yes, I know. It's hard to delineate these relationships. All of these grew out of what was initially the preparatory high school for colored youth, which was the first source of secondary education in the city, Black or white. Kimberly Springle put me onto that. She was like, yeah, it preceded the white public high school, which rarely gets talked about. Preparatory high school becomes the colored high school. Its actual name changes, and people refer to it in newspapers and in official documents, school board annual reports, things like that, as the colored high school. That is its name. When the school gets its first purpose built building, it is located on M Street, right? And so, okay, scratch that. I just messed up the family tree. This is like at the family reunion. Yo sister's cousin was so and so's daddy's uncle. Okay, so back to the colored high school was located on M Street, and it was the only high school then for Black students, so we could just call it the colored high school. But once the decision to create manual training happened, then it wasn't the only colored high school. So then we had to change the name because if you're talking about the colored high school, it's the question, are you talking about the one on M Street? Or are you talking about that new building they just built over there in 1902, which is the manual training school? So then they changed the name of the colored high school to M Street and then called manual training. It became Armstrong. Part of the family tree is not just about school buildings and institutions, it's about curriculum. The colored high school taught the classical and the mechanical and the business and all of that. So it is literally the mother of Armstrong and M Street and Cardoza, so on and so forth. There was a big old scandal in the early 1900s when Anna Julia Cooper was the principal, and she was like, we are focused on classical training. And there were faculty members and interested city folk who said, you are not serving all the needs of our students. And there was a big foo in the Black newspapers, and she's being negligent, whoop, whoop, whoop. Then they ousted her. But at the time, the colored high school did offer a variety of courses, including the classical, the Latin, so on and so forth, business training, and manual. And then when it broke out in manual training, Armstrong was its own school. The M Street School and Dunbar still offered a business course. They were still offering the business and classical, while manual was offering more of the mechanical and then technical. So that's what I really meant when I said that Cardoza, because Dunbar didn't turn into Cardoza, but Dunbar in a way birthed Cardoza because that curriculum was still being taught until it was moved out into its own entity. So that's where that comes from. But it all stemmed from the one school, colored high school, that then grew these different branches. It was like the where were the classes being taught and where did the curriculum go in relationship? But it all was initially being taught at the colored high school.